I don't understand what I did wrong. Why was I arrested?
You can't burn the American flag in the state of Texas.
But that's not constitutional. My First Amendment right grants me the right to free speech.
Your First Amendment right does not grant you the right to burn the American flag.
In the mind of Johnson, he is not doing anything wrong. He's simply expressing political dissent against America. He believes his actions are protected under First Amendment right to free speech. He is not breaching peace. He's simply expressing himself. I cannot be held accountable for other people's opinion. Is not right. Is not American. I'm sorry if it upset people, but it's not my fault. I cannot be punished for what other people say or what other people think. If it upset them, I'm sorry, but it's not my problem.
The state of Texas has a law prohibiting the destruction or vandalization of the American flag. The flag is symbolic of our nation and its unity. Blatantly disrespecting the flag is offensive to American people. The First Amendment protects free speech, not arson. Besides, Johnson's actions violate the Texas law. Mr. Johnson's actions were illegal and unpatriotic. There's a law in Texas that you can't desecrate the American flag.
That doesn't sound like a constitutional law. I believe I'm going to have to call my lawyer and bring that to the Texas State Court of Appeals.
Gregory Lee Johnson, a member of the Revolutionary Communist Youth Brigade, participated in a political demonstration during the 1984 Republican National Convention in Dallas, Texas. The demonstrators were protesting the policies of the Reagan administration and of certain companies based in Dallas. When the demonstrators reached Dallas City Hall, Johnson poured kerosene on an American flag and burned it. Johnson was tried and convicted under a Texas law outlawing flag desecration. He was sentenced to 1 year in jail and assessed a $2,000 fine. The government generally has more ease in restricting and regulating expressive conduct than it has in restricting the written word or spoken word. The main issue of this case is the debate of whether desecrating an American flag by burning or otherwise is a form of speech that is protected under the First Amendment. The state had said that its interests were far more important than Johnson's symbolic speech rights because it wanted to preserve the flag as a symbol of national unity. Texas sided with other Americans who were offended and appalled by Johnson's destruction of the national flag. The Fifth Circuit Court said neither of these state interests could be used to justify Johnson's conviction. The Texas Court of Appeals held that the state of Texas could not punish Johnson for burning the flag. The court stated, "Recognizing that the right to differ is the centerpiece of our First Amendment freedoms, a government cannot mandate a feeling of unity in its citizens. Therefore, that very same government cannot carve out a symbol of unity and prescribe a set of approved messages to be associated with that symbol." The court also concluded that the flag burning in this case did not cause or threaten to cause a breach of the peace. Even though the flag burning seriously offended several witnesses, the court stressed that no one was physically injured or threatened with injury in Johnson's situation. The court argued that expression cannot be prohibited on the basis that an audience takes serious offense to it or that it may disturb the peace. The government cannot assume that every expression of a provocative idea will incite a riot, but it must look at the actual circumstances surrounding the expression. In 1989, the case reached the Supreme Court and upheld the Court of Appeals ruling in a 5-4 decision with Justice Brennan, Marshall, Blackmun, Scalia, and Kennedy ruling in the majority. The Supreme Court ruled that the flag desecration is protected right under the First Amendment and freedom of speech, stating that Johnson's burning of the flag constituted expressive conduct permitting him to invoke the First Amendment, occurring as it did at the end of a demonstration coinciding with the Republican National Convention. The expressive, overtly political nature of the conduct was both intentional and overwhelmingly apparent. Because Johnson's burning of the flag was ruled expressive conduct protected by the First Amendment, the court concluded that the state could not criminally sanction flag desecration in order to preserve the flag as a symbol of national unity. The First Amendment specifically disallows the abridgment of speech, but the court reiterated this long recognition that its protection does not end at the spoken or written word.